Let's go. Here we go. Loris, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Okay, hope the chat can hear you. I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you. And thank you for being part of the stream.
No
Where
problem.
are
No
you
problem. I'm in England, in
now?
Manchester
Okay.
is my apartment, so that's where I'm staying.
Okay. First of all, Loris, wanted to say thank you for being part of the stream. Remember, guys, Liverpool goalkeeper, so it's a super pleasure to talk some football stuff with you. And Loris, I want your feelings about your current situation. So, how is going? How are you feeling? You spent last season to Union Berlin. Now you're back at Liverpool. Final year of your contract. So, how is the situation? How is going?
Obviously, right now, not so easy situation. As a goalkeeper, you always want to play. So right now, I find myself in a bit of difficult situation. We were gonna move in summer. It didn't happen for some reason. That's football. Life goes on. I had a shoulder injury now. The last 6 weeks, I'm recovering. I start training again now. Went this week on the pitch for the first time, so I'm hoping to be back in training next week and then just see what's going to happen. But you have to stay focused, train well, get yourself in the best physical shape, be ready. Maybe something happens. If not, then be ready for the next transfer window, and that's the situation at the moment.
Loris, with you, I'm going to clarify immediately. I don't want to talk about the past. I think in life, things happen and it's nice to look forward, to think to the future, and also to talk something about behind the scenes. So how a player like you is living in football world, how are you feeling in many things. So what I want to ask you is about the future now, no? Because as you say, it's not an easy situation for a goalkeeper in particular, for players in general, for goalkeepers in particular when you are not playing. So what do you expect maybe in January transfer window to find some opportunities? And you had chance to come back to Bundesliga, so to come back in Germany again. Do you expect could be a possibility for you to be in Germany, or you are open to any opportunities that could be interesting for you with a technical new project?
No, of course I'm open. It doesn't have to be the league. It has to be the project, the coach, the team who I have to feel that I'm really wanted and give me a good feeling. So I don't have the one thing in mind where I say it has to be this or has to be that. But yeah, of course, in summer I had one or two things where I said, okay, I would be happy to do this. But in football, the best, there's always many things coming together. And if not everything comes together, then sometimes it doesn't happen. And it's not just what you would want to do. There's more things to it. So yeah, I think I'll get opportunities, in January transfer window. That's my aim. Of course, I'm also happy to be here and help where I can, put good performances in the training, push the other guys. It's just a different situation that you have to adapt, but still give your best. Football is a team sport. And I think even players that don't play, it's important they have good attitude, good mindset to give to the other guys that are playing and give them a good feeling,
This is so important. I think what you say, I really appreciate it because, maybe sometimes in life could happen like you're not part of a project as a starter, but then if you have this kind of behavior is really important, as you said, in particular between goalkeepers. No, there is a special relationship sometimes between goalkeepers, also helping each other. How is your relationship? I wanted to ask with the actual goalkeepers at Liverpool. You say that you are trying to help the team always, also if you're not playing. So how is the relationship in particular with the other goalkeepers and with a monster like Alisson, one of the best in the world?
No, I have to say we're a really, really good group in general, but especially also the goalkeepers. We work very close together every day. We have special bonding, if you want to see it like this. But I think the days where goalkeepers were really hating each other are in the past. If you think maybe of Kahn and Lehmann or something like this.
Yes.
I think nowadays it's not so bad anymore. But here in this group, I can only say it's a bunch of great guys, and we get along really well. We laugh together in the dressing room. We work hard together. We push each other, and there's no bad feelings to other guys. We a really good group. But in general, I think this is what Liverpool is all about. About the team spirit, about the togetherness, and it's about the whole club. So we live this.
No. I really like this point you said, and how you respect the team group. How do you respect the dressing group? You know, is something really important, and is really nice, I think, also for Liverpool fans to hear this kind of words from you. And what I wanted to ask you is about something like behind the scenes of a player like you playing in top clubs like Liverpool. What is the player you remember, maybe now or when you arrived at Liverpool years ago, you were shocked to see him in training? One player that, in your opinion, was really impressive to you, no? Maybe because you were not expecting this kind of player when you saw him in training, or maybe for any other reason. So, if you have one player you played with at Liverpool that surprised you.
I mean, we're top level here, so every day is a pleasure, you know. But I think the most impact, if you want to say, is the first season Salah came in. He came from Roma, you know, and no one really knew what to expect. I didn't see a lot of him. You could tell he was a good player, but he came in and he had
Not this level.
the most amazing season. He scored goals where people thought, "Wow, how did he do this?" He took us like he was winning games for us, you know, when it's close. Like, I don't know how many goals he scored. He scored 4 goals in one game, another hat trick,
Yes.
2 goals. It was just incredible. Like, I never see something like this. It really surprised me.
How is Mo in the dressing room? Because many fans always ask about him as a person. You know, many people talk about him as a kind guy, as a serious guy. How is as a person? So the feeling with such a fantastic player in the dressing room, he's humble. How is your relationship with him?
He's a humble guy. He gets on with everyone. He's not the loudest. He's very hardworking. You always see him before in the gym, one of the first ones doing his extra things outside. He's always practicing. So it doesn't just come that he steps on the pitch and does wonders. You know, it's the work he put in behind the doors, and that's what he does. You know, he's really working hard. He's never satisfied. You can see this even when you watch it on TV, if he misses a chance or something. So yeah, it's hard work. He deserves it.
Okay. Talking about you, Loris, then we will be back on some of your teammates, on your experience. But I wanted to ask about your positive moments, because as you said, maybe in January you will leave the club. We will see what is going to happen, or maybe next summer. So we will see what will be the future. But I wanted to ask something positive. So what will be the best moment you will take with yourself when you think about Liverpool? So if you have one moment you will never forget, is maybe about the fans, because we know how special our Liverpool fans sometimes in Anfield is incredible, or maybe it's about teammates, or maybe it's about one single match, one single game you will remember. So something positive you will bring with yourself about your Liverpool experience.
I mean, there were many great experiences. To just put one is difficult. I mean, you will always remember the first game you had at Anfield. It's something really special. Even if you never played there before as visitor or something, it's something really special. When I came with 22, 23 years of age, it was really special. But also after everything bad that happened in 2018, then the first time I stepped back into Anfield, they gave me standing ovations. They were cheering for me, and it was
special, no?
It was great to see, you know, that there might be some fools on the internet, but the real supporters of Liverpool, they're always behind you. And that's the saying, you'll never walk alone, you know. So you can be sure as a player, they will always stand behind you no matter what.
And your relationship, also talking about the manager, no? Of course, now the situation is different because you're not the first goalkeeper, so maybe it's different, of course. But in the past, your relationship with Jurgen Klopp, I wanted to ask you, is one of the most appreciated managers in the world. He did great for Liverpool, and not only for Liverpool. So how was and is your relationship with Jurgen Klopp?
I mean, he's the one who brought me here, you know. So I know him from before when we played against each other in Bundesliga. He's a great guy, you know. You can, of course, if as a player, if you don't start, it's always difficult to like the manager, no matter who he is, because as a player, you always want to start. But you can speak to him, and you can have honest conversations, you know. And there's no holding back. You can have an honest conversation with him, and you know where you are, and you go out, and you don't have any bad feelings towards him, because yeah, he's a good guy, you know, and that's why he's been at the top for so long now with Liverpool, because the players believe in what he say. I think that's one of the most important things as a manager.
So you still feel being part of this Liverpool group that he has still the big leadership in Liverpool dressing room, because after last season some people were talking about it, about Liverpool and Klopp difficult moment, but the feeling now is everything is great again. So your feeling is still so positive about Klopp experience now, no, with Liverpool?
Yeah, I mean the important players came back also who were injured, that played a big part.
Yes.
Last season was really hard, a lot of injuries, but from the first day, in preseason, we worked really well. You could see his vision. Every player was believing in it, and that's why I think the season started so well. So I think there's not a doubt that the whole squad believes in him. If he would think different, I think he would not be here. So I think it's clear that he's still the right man, more than the right man.
And Loris, I wanted to ask you about also some goalkeeper stuff, because of course you are a goalkeeper, you're still young, you're 28, no, like me, you're 93, so we are young, let's say like this. And now I wanted to ask about some young goalkeepers around, because now we have a new generation of goalkeepers coming. If you have some goalkeepers that are, maybe you are looking around, I don't know if in Germany or any other country, or maybe in England, and you are surprised with this goalkeeper, someone that you really like, someone you can think he will be at top level, like Alisson, Neuer, and many others. Now, if you have some other goalkeeper you see for the future, so if someone surprised you.
I think there's in Germany right now, there's not so many really young ones playing. A few years ago, you had me, Leno, Testing. There was like a few coming up in really short time. But I think in England, it's surprising that there's a few young goalkeepers coming out now that are doing really well, that are playing in the Premier League. You didn't see this a few years ago, that there's like young English goalkeepers playing at highest level.
Yes.
So that's good to see that in England they've been working on this and improving, because always you said, this might be the weakness, they don't produce good goalkeepers, but now you can see in Arsenal, for example, a young one playing.
Ramsdale,
Pickford has been playing for a while, so there's quite a few good young keepers in England. Overall,
you like Donnarumma?
Donnarumma, of course. I don't even consider him a young one anymore because he has so much experience at his age.
Yes.
But of course, he's a big talent. I'm excited to see where his way will go with PSG.
Yes, let's see. Will be interesting. And also, Loris, I work on transfers now, as a journalist. So sometimes it's also interesting, I think, to talk with players like you. How do you leave transfer news, transfer rumors, and transfer moments, apart of the rumors, when the transfer is happening? So if you remember, for example, when you joined Liverpool, I think was one of the best moments in your life, I can think, in your career, no? When Liverpool called you, they decided to sign you. What you felt, what you remember maybe behind the scenes as a person, not just a goalkeeper, Karius, but as a person, Loris? How was the feeling when you received the call? What do you remember about it? Maybe Jurgen Klopp called you before the transfer, so how was it?
I mean, most of the time as a player, you always know a little bit before, like some clubs are interested in you and this is going on. But once it gets very clear, I think you cannot think about too much as a player. So as long as there's no offer on the table, you shouldn't worry about it too much. You should just do your thing. Like, you have to focus on your weekly work. But of course, when you realize all the clubs are negotiating, it's going to happen, you agree personal terms, it's a great feeling. Like, it's really exciting because a new part of your life is beginning. There will be changes and a lot of new things. So of course you're excited. If you get a move like this, it's really great, and that's what you've been working for the last few years. Then to get a deal like this.
Jurgen Klopp called you before the move, maybe to ask you or to tell you we want to sign you, or what do you remember of these moments when he wanted you at Liverpool?
Yeah, we talked about the project, what his plans are, and all this, and it's just good to connect this close before a move, because you get more of a feeling for the club and what they want, and that's just always good. I think if you're in close contact with the staff there.
So you think it's an important message also for this kind of managers calling the players, try to show to the players the project, how much they want them. So you think it's part of the process of the transfer market.
Yeah, I mean, last year I moved like last minute, very late. I think even October, and I didn't have time. It was in like one day I had to make my decision. I couldn't speak with the coach. I spoke with everyone else, goalkeeping coach and everyone. And they said, "Oh, you'll be in goal from the first day and everything, you know." And then at the end, the team was on a run where they already won 4 or 5 games in a row, and they couldn't put me in straight away. And I was like, "What's going on?" You know. So it was like just lack of communication, or just me believing in some stuff too much. Where I think back now, that I should really like think about it more. That's also stuff you learn from, you know.
Yes.
But sometimes it's
maybe
so
last
hectic, you
minute
don't
move
have
is different.
any time. Yeah, it's last minute, and you think, okay, this is going to happen, everything's going to be like this, and then maybe it's not. But that's also part of the business. Yeah.
So I imagine now this is why you are taking your time also to pick your next destination, no?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
your next club.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not. I've been in the football business playing maybe 10 years now, week in, week out. So I know all the sides of the game. You know, I'm not a young boy anymore, so I know what I want, and I know what's important. So that's good, you know.
What do you expect for your career in the next years? Let's see. As I said, it will be January, summer. We will see. But what do you expect now? You're 28, no? So you are still as goalkeeper. You are maybe 10 years. I don't know how many years you want to continue to play, but as goalkeeper, 28 is so young. So what do you want to do? What is your plan? What is your target for the coming years?
I mean, as long as the body is good and I'm happy, you know, I will keep on playing. Of course, now maybe I have to probably take a step back on my next move, but then I will give everything, you know, to showcase myself again, put myself in the window, do well for whoever I'm going to choose. And then I still have plans, you know. I want to still play international football. I want to play week in, week out, win some trophies. That's always the aims you have as a professional player. Otherwise, you wouldn't need to do that sport, you know, if you have no ambition.
Of course. I always like to do this question, Loris, to goalkeepers and to players in general, because for goalkeepers it's maybe sometimes different, but we also had goalkeepers being top managers. So what I wanted to ask you, if you are already thinking of what you want to do after playing football, maybe in 20 years, in 15 years, we will see, but a part of when will be, what do you want to do? You already know, or you're still thinking, okay, I don't care, let's see what happens, and then I decide? Or you know if you want to be maybe a manager or an agent, I don't know, or a director, football director, or goalkeeper, trainer? What do you have in your mind?
Of course, you're thinking about this sometimes, because imagine you get bad injury or something tomorrow, you cannot play anymore, or you have to be like, even if it's not finalized, you have to have some ideas in your head. So I'm still figuring it out, you know. There's some stuff that I like to do, maybe that I also didn't have the chance now, never really to do. But talking about being manager, for example, I don't see myself being this in the near future, to be honest. I think once I finish with football, I need like a little break, at least from this rhythm you had then for 10, 15 years, every day, this, every weekend, this, like, basically 15 years been all the same. I think you need a little breather from it.
Of course,
and
to
then
change
maybe
a bit.
after
Yes,
you go back to the business, but you need, I think, just a little breather and experience some other things also after.
Yes. And I want to come back to the beginning, the start of your career. You started in Manchester City, no? You were in the Manchester City Academy for 2 years, no? If I'm right.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was the new Manchester City, so they were building the new identity of the club with new ownership. Was the new era of Manchester City starting? Of course, it were needing years to be at top level as they are now, but was the start of the new era. What do you remember of these moments as a young goalkeeper playing at Manchester City, and what was the atmosphere around the club? Because now we have Newcastle, no, trying to bring something new, something with the richest ownership in the world. So what was the feeling as a young goalkeeper for the future at Manchester City at this point? It was 10 years ago. bit more than 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, the year I came, it just started. I think Adebayor came in this year and some other guys. And of course, I mean, as young player, it's really exciting. But there was a lot of players, I remember in the dressing room, a lot of players who still had contract that then were playing maybe for the reserves or something, that were playing for the first team again. So it had ups and downsides, you know, in between the team. There were, I think, quite a few conflicts this year, because it just happened so fast, everything. And then you find players that are also not happy, you know, because it changes so
Of
fast. But
course.
for me, as a young player, it was great to train with these guys every day, to be around them and just experience this and learn from them. So I only take good experience from it. Really, it was a good time for me. But the club moved very fast. Yeah.
Okay, so when I was curious about this feeling you can have with the new ownership, and was a completely different Manchester City from what we see now. So it's normal the process is gonna sometimes take long. Loris, wanted to come back on some points on your teammates at Liverpool, because we have many Liverpool fans asking about this kind of things. So if you have some special moments you remember, of course in positive, with Liverpool teammates in these years. You had different moments, of course, as for many players in your Liverpool career and your Liverpool chapter. So if you have some special moments you will remember with teammates, talking about the person, you know, not just about pitch, because we know how special are these players. They have many top champions and top players. But if you have some moments you still remember, and you will remember for many, many years, with some of your teammates, because they were trying to, I don't know, help you, or something completely different, also something funny, because football is also part of funny things. So if there is something you remember behind the scenes of your Liverpool experience.
I mean, you're together every day, you know, so you experience these guys every day, and it's always easy to be everything working when it's going good. But I remember after in the summer break 2018, when I was obviously really down, there was like, I don't know how many players who were reaching out to me in the vacation and just asking me, how are you? Can we do anything for you? We are here. How's your vacation? All this stuff. So this really shows a strong team mentality, you know, for them to think in their vacation about me, how I'm doing, to send me texts over and ask about me, and just want to give you a good feeling. I mean, that's not normal, you know, like to do this, because in summer break you're happy to get a break from football and you go away, you clear your mind. So then still think about your teammate who's maybe not the happiest. It's really, really great, you know.
Yes. You think this is Liverpool's secret? This is why they won many things in the last years, and you won many things in the last years with Liverpool, because of the dressing room too, so the team spirit.
Yeah, this sometimes makes the difference, you know, because of course this squad has a real high quality, but there's other teams who have a really high quality, but this sometimes can make the difference, you know, that the other guy is working the meters more to save his teammate and all this stuff. So I think that has been definitely an advantage of this team.
Talking about transfers, then I want to ask you something later about maybe the best 11 or best 5 side, if you want, of players you played with in your career, because you played with many top players. So it would be nice to try to do something like the best 5 side or 11 side as you want. But just a quick one, I wanted to ask you about transfers again, because before I was asking you how do you feel when you have transfer updates, transfer rumors, but now I want to ask you, how is your feeling also with something not happening and maybe collapsing? Because I don't know, maybe before joining Liverpool, you had other opportunities with top clubs, something that we don't know, maybe on your transfer story from years ago, some club that approached you, top clubs a part of Liverpool. What do you remember about this point?
I mean, of course, there's been things that's been not happening. I remember also when I was young, I had quite a few offers after my first season with Mainz in the Bundesliga, where I was really excited about, and I thought, oh, I want to go to this club. They're bigger clubs. There's maybe a bigger contract there. But then at the end, I decided for my future that I stay in Mainz and sign new contracts.
Always English clubs or German clubs too?
No, also in the beginning, German clubs and
okay.
But yeah, then when I was really young, I denied these bigger contracts contracts in the end, although I was really excited in the beginning because I want to proceed there and I thought it's best for my development. So sometimes you also have to make like a hard decision, you know, that's not easy, but that will help you in the long term. I think it did there, but yeah, it's also, of course, the best feeling is to get an offer that you've been waiting for from the club you look into. That's of course the best feeling.
And a part of the technical decision, as you said before, what you did last year with Besiktas on last minute, but a part of the technical project and the manager, this kind of stuff, as a person, how difficult it is to decide last minute for normal life? Because many times we see football players or fans see football players like robots or machines, but you are a person, not just player. So how is the feeling to decide in few hours about your future, your next year, your home, and many other things?
It's very difficult. I mean, for me, I don't have kids. I'm alone. It's maybe a bit more easy, you know, to say, oh, tomorrow I wake up in a new country, new city. But if people have family and everything, they need to take everything with them, basically, unless they leave them back, you know. So to decide in one day is really hard. It's not just about, oh, I can play there. You have to think about everything, about your life, about what comes with it. So even for me, this decision is really hard, but I can only imagine for people who have like family and everything that it's going to be even harder. And yeah, it's not easy. You have to be a strong person.
Okay. So, Loris, to ask you about some of your teammates, as I said, if it's okay with you, we can try to do your best 11 with players you played with. Of course, you know, we did the same with Saul a few weeks ago together here. Of course, it's just about some of the best players. We can't include all the best players. You had many in your career, but I think it could be a nice mix among some of players you played with. If it's okay with you, we can go with 11. What do you think about it?
Yeah, let's try.
Let's do it. So we have to start with the goalkeeper, eh? We have to start with the goalkeeper. So we can't say Karius in this situation. So let's pick one goalkeeper you played with, you want to include in the best 11.
Yeah, that's going to be Allison then. There wasn't really. Otherwise, I always played, you know, so.
Okay. Then we have to pick the system now. We have to pick the system. Want to go with 4-3-3?
Yeah, let's try 4-3-3.
Okay. Right back. Let's go with right back.
A right back, I think, is Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's a fantastic player, in my opinion. Very modern attacking right back. Then, of course, Van Dijk, centre back.
Okay. How was the first time you saw him in training? Virgil, I think
he had a little bit problems the first 1 or 2 months. You could tell he's a great player, but he had to adapt to our system. You know, in the beginning, he came in January. It's not easy, but after this, he just been fantastic with no really down form or nothing. He just kept going and improving.
How is the mentality of Virgil? Because sometimes he seems incredible with the mentality he has, the leadership he has on the pitch, no?
Yeah, he's got this aura, you know, where I think for attackers they already feel, oh, we don't want to play against him. I think kind of, and this is really important, but it's not fake. It's who he is, you know, and
yes,
it's great to have someone in the back like this.
Okay, and who is the other centre back? So with Virgil,
I think I would go for Pepe. I play with him in Besiktas. Great defender, great guy. Of course,
leader too.
People who only see him on TV maybe think crazy guy, but actually he's a really nice guy off the pitch. And if you're in his team, you know he would do anything for you, you know. So
he's a winner. Let's say like this mentality.
Yeah, for sure.
I like this Van Dijk Pepe pair of centre backs. So let's go with the left back. So we are with Trent, Van Dijk, Pepe, and now we need the left back.
Yeah, it's gonna be Robertson now for sure. He's just same. He came in and he just kept on going, and he took his place, and that's where he is still right now at this moment in time. One of the best left backs in the world.
You think the process he did was surprising, maybe, because when he joined was not like, of course, was not this level. Now he's one of the best in the world, as you said. So how was the process also under your eyes, training with him and being part of this fantastic team Liverpool have and had for many years?
Process was really easy. He came in, he had a bit of a hard time. He couldn't get in the team. Then I think Alberto Moreno at the time got injured, and he used his chance, and he produced great performances and just fitted in the system very well. So it was really easy, to play among him.
Okay. Let's go with the central midfielder now, the playmaker, we can say, in this 4-2-3 for you, Loris. So who is the center one?
The playmaker, you mean the number 8 or?
Number 8, yes.
Number 8. That's difficult.
You have many, eh?
I think to watch for me is Thiago, because it's beautiful to watch him play. His
maybe
first
Liverpool
touch,
fans have not seen yet the best Thiago, no?
Yeah, but in Germany he was incredible. Just so nice to watch him, how he plays. It's beautiful. Sometimes it's magical, I think. He has a lot of stuff still to show for Liverpool. Also, he had ups and downs his first season, but he's a fantastic player, I think.
Do you think he will be part of Liverpool top players in the next months, future, let's say like this?
I think he needs to fix his place in the first 11, and then put his performances that everyone knows he can put in, that he did at Barcelona, at Bayern, and then
yes,
let's see. But there's some great players alongside him also, that are fighting for.
Of course,
of course.
So it's not easy. Of course,
it's not easy.
Okay, we have 2 places in the midfield with Thiago Alcantara. So up to you, Loris.
I think number 6. I would like to put Steven Gerrard, although I only played with him once, but that counts now. So.
Okay. Yes.
He's the biggest legend now, almost from Liverpool.
I was playing with him for you.
We only played together one time, but it was like a pre-season game or end of season game. I don't remember. So it was more casual, but even then he was still like commanding. Like when you have captain like this, everyone just listens to what he has to say and looks up to him. So he's so respected, and as soon as he enters the room, everyone's listening, and that's just the respect he earned himself over the years.
Okay. So we have Steve Gerrard and Thiago. Now we need another midfielder, and then we move to the strikers.
Okay, let's see.
It's not easy, eh? You had many top players with you.
But I think I would probably pick Henderson, because since Gerrard gave up the armband to him, he's been doing an incredible job, and it's not easy, to fulfill these footsteps. And I think he's been doing well, and he's very. If you see his attitude on the field, it's great what the captain should have. So I'd probably go with him and put him in there.
Okay, a lot of leadership in your team, eh? Yeah. I like it.
Then
leadership, top mentality.
The wings is clear. It's Salah, Mane. I think you cannot put somewhere else.
Okay.
I played with Quaresma. He was a great player also, but
they ask you, how is Quaresma in training too? Many Besiktas fans asking about Quaresma. How is the feeling with him?
He's a crazy guy, but he likes to do his skills in training and just do crazy stuff. But he's always in a good mood. He just enjoys playing football. You can see like he just wants to do his skills and enjoy the game.
I remember one interview from Mourinho who said if Quaresma was going to do the same things he does in training in the official games, is the Ballon d'Or easy. So So I think this is a good point. So let's say Quaresma is our first replacement for Salah and Mane in your best 11. Let's say like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You remember something funny about trainings with him or something you will remember? With the Trivella, no?
Yeah, I think every day he make only Trivella in training. I don't think he should normal. Only the outside of the foot, the Trivella is crazy guy. But it's funny,
How many goals you conceded in training with this Trivella?
There was one bad one, and they catch it on camera where he put it right top corner. So the next day it was straight everywhere.
He destroyed you, imagine.
Or 3-3 and everything where he killed me. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think this was it. But it was bad timing,
Yes, yeah. You had 100 other Trivelas. Okay, I can understand your point. Okay, we miss the striker. Quaresma is on the bench,
but also,
we need the
he
striker.
would do shooting practice, and the cameraman would come and he would miss 100 times. He'd tell him, no, film one more, until he get it, and he'd say, yeah.
He only wanted
you have
this,
this,
the video.
You have this. Yeah.
Okay,
crazy.
The Trivella man is incredible. We still remember he also here in Italy was incredible. And what was the funniest teammate? One of the funniest teammates you had, no?
Yeah, he's funny. He's a funny guy, but there's been quite a few. I don't know. It's difficult. Vida is very funny. Vida, the Croatian center back,
yes,
he's a very funny guy. There's a few crazy guys. Dejan Lovren, very funny. Also Croatian. Yeah, there's a few. Difficult to say the number one.
Okay, there is one episode you will never forget about one of these teammates with that. You can say, of course, because maybe sometimes you can't. But if you have one funny and nice, you can say.
I have to think about it. Maybe I'll tell you in a bit. I don't have anything right now in my head that I can tell you.
Too many, I think. This is the point. You have to pick one. Okay, let's go with the striker, Loris. We missed the striker with Salah and Mane.
I think if we put real striker up front, I will put Burak Yilmaz. If we put a real number 9, if we want more someone working for the team, I'm gonna put Firmino. He's a great striker, but a real number 9, I'm gonna put Burak. I think because he's a real goal scorer. He was
really
incredible.
Underrated.
Yeah, and he's also a great guy. He's a great person and very important for the team. He's a leader, a great leader, and he just score goals. Sometime in training, you think, what's wrong? He's maybe not in top form, but the next day he step in the pitch and score 2 goals. It's just every game he steps up and somehow scores the important goals. When you need him. And even now in this age, he won the league with. Against PSG,
Winning the Lille with Lille was incredible, I think. Really underrated. I agree with you.
And he was like the key player for this almost. So,
yes.
Yeah, great player.
Okay, so we have Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Pepe and Robertson, Anderson, Thiago, Gerrard, Salah, Yilmaz, Mane, and Ricardo Quaresma to do 43 videos with Trivella on the bench. So we're fine with this, with your best 11. I really like it. And I like the message from the Galactic Hotbits texting, Loris Karius looks well and happy. Wish him the best of luck for his future. And it's the same we're doing. So many good messages. I'm really happy about it. So congrats for your team, Loris, first of all, because I really like it. It was not easy because you had a lot of Liverpool players, but also Yilmaz, Pepe. I like your choices. And it was a super pleasure to talk with you. So
yeah, thank you. You too.
Next time we have to do it on your next move. I hope really for you will be the right opportunity to play, have some game time, and to be back on the pitch as you deserve. And what are you expecting for January? Something to happen, or you think will be summer? Just some transfer feelings, not news, just feelings.
No, I think yes. I'm in a positive mood. But like I said, I'm not going to rush anything. If I think it's the right thing, I'm going to do it. Maybe I wait till summer. You never know. So I don't have my eyes just on one thing fixed. I will just see how it goes.
Italy.
Okay. Maybe I've never been. You can teach me some Italian. Maybe
let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm gonna talk with some of my friends in Italy, and let's do it. You're a free agent next summer, so it will be a good opportunity. Let's do it. I'm gonna be intermediary in this case, not journalist. Okay, but thank you, really. Thank you, Loris. It was a super pleasure. Lot of messages from Liverpool fans, and not only appreciating you as a person, as a goalkeeper. So I'm really, really happy of this chat, and wishing you all the best for your future.
All right, thank you. Great talking to you.
Thank you, Loris.
See you, mate.
And
Thank you.
see you soon. Thank you,
See you.
guys.
See you, mate. Bye-bye.
I hope you really appreciated the chat as I did with Loris. Karius was so nice, and I think you see, guys, that sometimes looking behind the player, you have a person, you have a guy talking about football stuff, talking about trainings. Look how funny it was on Quaresma. I really loved it. But also what he said about Thiago Alcantara, no, for Liverpool fans to know how Thiago is working on training. And a player like Loris Karius, many years at Liverpool, surprised with Thiago Alcantara approach. But also what he said about the relationship with Liverpool teammates. The team spirit they have in this Liverpool dressing room is something special. Why they won many top trophies in the last years? Because they have this team spirit. And so sending him messages after the final of the Champions League during the summer when they were on holidays was special. So, I think the feeling was so good, and I really love to have this kind of contents, guys, to try to bring you behind the scenes of football, but also behind the scenes of the players. Like Loris Karius was so nice with this part of his career, talking about Liverpool, teammates, and many other things.